Frame 13, Ronnie O'Sullivan to book.
O'Sullivan 1 frame away from what would be his 4th consecutive defeat in a final, and that's something he's never suffered before. I think it's fair to say, though, Alan, that there's no chance of any John Higgins complacency.
No, certainly not. It does feel like we're into the final throes of this Kazoo Players' Championship now, doesn't it? As you say, with the form that John's in, he's not going to let Ronnie off the hook. He's not going to give him any freebie chances or anything like that. Everything he's done today has been measured. And the hallmark of it, he's missed nothing easy. Any time he gets in, I can't remember him missing one easy pot in the whole match. Here's another example of it. Anytime you leave him cue ball in open play with a target to get in behind, 9 times out of 10 he finds it. You don't always have to be eye-catching in the way you play the game, and John's not like that as much as some other players in the game, but I've always said it, you don't necessarily have to do great things. Do the small things in a great way, like this. Pretty straightforward shot, but it's important he covers the left half, and you know he's gonna. Not been wise after the event, but that looked a bit narrow to me.
Ronnie O'Sullivan.
Before he played it.
It was a big shot to take on. And it could be costly.
1.
Even that shot was
7.
good thinking. He could have easily bailed out for the red in bulk, but keep that for later, just in case you land short in the blue.
8.
Like now. That's the small details of a top player that can't be underestimated. And John knows every move, every trick in the book.
Thirteen. 14.
He's won 30 world ranking titles before, John Higgins. He's won 47 professional tournaments before, but never won quite like this.
This is a shot as well, this straightish red. Okay, he's nothing to do with the cue ball.
19.
He's looked as good as ever in this type of shot all week long. It's not an absolute certainty, but he's been striking these beautifully.
20.
Black out of the equation,
26.
but pink and blue will do the job.
27. 33. 34.
'Let's rewind here. Immediately into his stride was John Higgins
40.
in the Players' Championship. He won his first 3 frames against Jordan Brown with centuries. And that excellence has never let up.
41.
'As he played his last shot.
$47. 48.
'Champions like Higgins are never truly satisfied. He would love to finish this off in a single hit. Big ask, though.
It's just what about his cue ball here. The pot shouldn't be a problem. Obviously the black's going to be released
54.
into play. He's just got to avoid the red and right of your picture there. Got to avoid that.
55.
That was the one. Still okay, because he has precious little to do with the cue ball. Funny, John had this shot
62.
today, didn't he? And he missed it near. He hit side cushion first. That'll be in his mind, believe it or not. He'll remember that from about 4 or 5 hours ago. So I don't expect him to contact the side cushion in any way in this shot. He'll just overcut it, just a fraction. Expect him to get it for that alone. The memory of earlier. See, trying to keep it away from the cushion.
63.
Memory game.
This is it. The ball he needs.
70. 71.
He's there, you know. We started this week celebrating the life and career of Doug Mountjoy, the great Welsh player. John Higgins is just about to become the oldest ranking event winner since Doug Mountjoy, 1989 Mercantile Credit Classic.
78.
Yeah, nice touch that, Phil. Very fitting. And how fitting it
79.
would be if John could finish off with another century. He's done some unbelievable things in his career. And I must admit, there were the odd occasion where I wondered if he could produce this sort of stuff again, but he has done. It's been better than ever.
86.
Incredible performance.
'87.
In 6 frames, by my reckoning, O'Sullivan hasn't potted a ball.
'93. 94.
He's won 28 frames, John Higgins. He's lost only 4, and he finishes off in fitting fashion
101.
with a wonderful century.
'102.
The bubble of concentration was never punctured.
107. 109.
What a victory lap.
$112.
We all thought he'd done everything in the game, but he's never done this. Totally dominated tournament.
116. 121. 127.
Mighty John Higgins is the Kazoo Players Champion. What a result! More to the point, what a performance. He defeats Ronnie O'Sullivan. Nay, he trounces Ronnie O'Sullivan by 10 frames to 3.
Thanks very much, Jill. A fitting climax to an amazing week of live snooker on ITV. The two classmates of 92 once again going toe-to-toe for one of the sport's ultimate titles. Ronnie, at times this week you've been utterly sublime, but today your great rival of 3 decades was simply too good.
Yeah, no, John was just unbelievable. I mean, I've been watching his games all week and, I think Selby got 7 points and at one point Wilson got 7 points in 4 frames. So, yeah, John was solid and scored well today and just too good.
There were moments of brilliance. The commentators were waxing lyrical about some of your breaks. When you were in, you were fantastic, but it just maybe wasn't meant to be today.
No, listen, John was strong. I knew I had to play well today, and maybe that I put a little bit of pressure on myself, thinking that I had to play as well as I could to have a chance. And once you don't punish John and he's playing as well as he is, then you do a lot of sitting in your chair, and there's not a lot you can do sometimes when someone's as good as John and he's tying you up in knots and making 70s, 80s, 90s, and 100s. You just have to just sit it out and wait for an early night.
Does it feel like a tournament win is close? You've now been in 4 finals this season.
To be honest with you, as long as I keep pitching up, playing, and all you can do is just do your best, and if your best is just good enough to get you to finals, then you have to accept that, and hopefully one week I'll get it right on the final day and hopefully get a trophy. But, you can't be too disappointed. I think there's 126 players that have probably swapped positions with me at the moment. So, you've got to try and take some positives from it. But John was unbelievable this week. Fantastic. Played brilliant snooker. Masterclass today. And it's good to see such a great player back winning. And it's good for snooker, because that you don't see very often, So I'm happy for John and his family,
Spoken with the grace of a champion. Thank you very much, Ronnie. And I know if there was a crowd, you'd be getting a huge round of applause at this moment. As would you, John. Absolutely incredible. Your first ranking title in 3 years against your arch rival, playing the best snooker of your career. Where does this rank in the all-time achievements that you've done down all those years?
Yeah, it's the best week I've ever had, Rob. I've won world titles in different tournaments, but for the whole week, the way I've felt and the calibre of players I've come up against, and I've managed to win quite convincingly. It's not really like me to do that now. Normally I'd be scrapping it out, final frame deciders and the like, whereas this week I've done like a Ronnie this week, went through the field pretty easy. So it's a brilliant feeling.
We've seen you in some epic finals since your last title at the Welsh almost 3 years ago to the very day. Has there been a moment over the last 3 years where you began to doubt whether you ever would lift a big one again?
Yeah, without a doubt. Now, you obviously, and you see the standard the top boys are playing, and you're coming up against them. You're maybe beating 80 or 90% of the rest of the tour. But when I was coming up against the top boys, they were just playing too strong for me and too good. So, yeah, of course there was, because if one of them wasn't going to be beating you, it might be another one, or it might be another top boy that's beating you. So, no, it's very pleasing to win. I don't know what a trophy looks like the last 3 years, so it's good to finally get my hands on one again.
And I know how much you respect Ronnie. It's mutual. Some fabulous words from him this evening. You command his highest respect.
Listen, we've grew up together now. As I've said it before, there's nobody got more respect in the game than I've got for Ronnie. The best ever. So for me to beat the best ever tonight, it's a brilliant feather in my cap. Brilliant.
A springboard, John, for the rest of the season. We know you've gone close to lifting the world title since you last had it in your grasp in 2011. Some great tournaments to come, the Tour Championship next month. You must take huge confidence, not just from tonight, but from the whole week.
Yeah, without a doubt. I wasn't in the Tour Championship coming into this event, and I was coming up against Jordan Brown on the crest of the wave, so I was thinking I might have a good 4 or 5 weeks off before the Crucible, but it's brilliant to win this, and then I know I'm going to the Tour Championship now, and then obviously the big one in April. So if I could repeat that sort of performance, I would have to fancy my chances. But as I said, there's so many great players.
I think for now, you should savour tonight. It's been a while since you lifted a big one. It's delicate. You might have forgotten what it feels like, so don't drop it. May I please invite you to step forward and lift this fantastic trophy. John Higgins, you are the 2021 Kazoo Players' Championship winner.